Hi there, hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be talking about the best basketball shoes for those with wider than average feet. Quite a few decent options this year. It can be a little annoying sometimes. Actually, one of the most annoying feelings is when we see a great performer being too narrow so that it doesn't fit. She a 10, but she a vegan. And if we were to size up for some of them, there comes a potential heel slippage concern. You've got enough width, but length becomes too much. So let's talk about some of the most wide foot friendly options on the market as of now. As a reference, I have slightly wide and extremely flat feet myself. And I'll let you know my sizing decision for each of these shoes I recommend. Also, why I chose that size accordingly. Maybe we'll go over which shoes to avoid as well if you have wide feet. Feel free to share your picks with us in the comments too. Some options might work for you and I, but might not be enough for others. I think it's always important to exchange information, but something that works every single time on the court, these dope fundamental shorts. This video is brought to you by Kinetic Kings. They're the folks who make the best mesh shorts in the game for basketball and casual wear. I personally hoop in them all the time, so you've probably seen me wearing these and multiple other pieces on the court. You can head over to the Kinetic site to shop for your favorite pieces. Some of their most popular designs like the Don family, Chrome bandana, they do sell out fast. I finally caught a restock recently. These fit true to size, by the way, so you can go with whatever your usual short size is. It's a lightweight, breathable, and above the knee type of fit. Don't forget to use my personal discount code at checkout. Link will be in the description. And thank you, Kinetic Kings, for sponsoring this video. All right, from Nike, I've got two options this year. We'll start with the KD 18. It is one of the first options that pop up in my head if you were to ask me which shoes to get for wide feet. Yeah, we're in a different time compared to the past because KDs used to be very slim, too narrow for a lot of people. 17 and 18 are a roomy fit, spacious enough in both the toe box and midfoot area. The 18 in particular is so wide that I even had to go down a half size to make sure it's also secure on feet at the same time, because it does open up quite a bit around the collar. Super fat tongue too. Material wise, the 18 is a subtle upgrade from the 17. Vomero 5 mesh base, that's comfort guaranteed on top of being wide foot friendly. This year's On Pearl also looks gorgeous to me, so it has to be my top suggestion right now. Another great choice at a lower price would be the LeBron Witness 9. First off, it is very similar to the Book 1 in the toe box, almost identical from a top-down view. No? What I really liked about this budget LeBron shoe is that it's not too sharp or pointy up front. You get a lot of space in the midfoot section as well. I went true to size in these, and that should be more than enough. Even if you have wide feet, there's no need to size up. I just wish that it's not so much of a square shape at the back, because it feels like there's a little bit too much wiggle room inside sometimes. But anyways, the LeBron Witness 9 has excellent cushion for its price, average traction, but a nice and spacious fit, most importantly. Shoes that you want to avoid from Nike, well, there are a few. JAS 3 is pretty narrow, unfortunately. A1, the Aja Wilson shoe, is also really tight and snug, especially around the toe box. This is the shoe that I was referring to when I said if you were to size up, sure, that alleviates any soreness or foot pain caused by the tightness on feet, but you'll most likely end up having heel slippage. So the trade-off is that half size up might be too loose at the back. Just go for the KDs or the Sabrina 2 from last year if it's still available to you. Sabrina 3 kind of shrinked a bit in width, but 2 was very ideal for a cozy fit, and it does stretch out over time too. Next, I've got a shoe that not only fits okay width-wise, but it's also one of the best performers of the year, and that is the 808 Ultra from Wait. For the sake of this video, since we're talking about shoes for people with wide feet, I just stick with going true to size. Medium or narrow feet, half size down might be the best option. As a drop-in midsole shoe, the 808 is relatively flat in shape. However, it doesn't press down too hard on top of your feet, and the base is quite forgiving in itself, so your feet aren't hitting a wall inside as you play in them. Best part maybe. Actually, to me, this is the best drop-in midsole setup for wide footers. It's got the right amount of containment to hold your feet in place. In this same aspect, the LeBron 23 drop-in midsole is just so bad in comparison. There's too much empty space on the side, but it shrinks also around the ankle area. There's a lot of pinching. So 808 Ultra and 808 Ultra V2, no discomfort, comfy and smooth for wide footers. Great bouncy setup for bigs too. Also the Li-Ning JB3, always a great choice for wide footers. Moving on, we have a wide foot friendly brand. Well, it can either be a good thing or a bad thing. Adidas. Good because they tend to be on the wider side. Bad because of their generational heel slippage problem that almost never goes away. Top choice from them this year. Also a lock in my final top 10. The DON Issue 7 is just a complete package. 10 out of 10 traction. Light Strike Pro gives you a nice bounce on feet. Adding this zipper shroud to the upper did not affect the fit. And I went half size down to get a secure lockdown that just works perfectly. The DON Issue 7 is way wider than the 6. It also became more stable based on my experience. Another one that I personally really enjoyed, it just might not be as accessible as the DON Issues, is their XENOBURST. Flatter in shape, lighter in weight. You'll be more low to the ground in terms of core feel. It also has Light Strike Pro. Light Strike Pro plus Dream Strike. It's kind of like their Son of Shai 3.0. I don't know if you all remember that one. Already a super underrated shoe, but the XENOBURST is even a tiny bit bouncier than those. And that toe box is so spacious. It's absolutely a joy to use. Super breathable and durable also for outdoors too. I also want to mention the Dame 10 from Adidas. Same thing, half size down, very wide feet, you can go true to size. They're pretty cheap or affordable. Easy to break in, well, almost no break-in was needed for me. Nice and soft materials to go with the wider than average base. See, the Dame 9 was also wide, but 10 conforms to my movements in a much more fluid way, so also a good choice. Adidas, I've been going half size down in their basketball shoes more often than not, as someone with slightly wider feet, not 2E or 4E. Maybe it shows that their products are generally wider or bulkier in shape, especially compared to Nike, let's say. Now, a super underrated pick to me, another budget-friendly option. I have the Curry Splash 25 with a retail price of 100 bahts. Pretty forgiving in the toe box, very roomy in the midfoot. Another one that defies tradition, because when we think about Steph Curry shoes, we tend to think that they're narrow and snug, but I even sized down here with the Curry Splash series. An old school micro G midsole. Comfort is there, traction is decent. For wide footers, I strongly recommend giving these a try to see if it works. Here I want to add another one from Under Armour that I recently got. Their Spawn 7 is surprisingly roomy. That's a lot of space right there in the midfoot. I did go true to size here because I've never sized down with the Spawn series. After skipping the Spawn 6, coming back to the 7, it's just day and night compared to the Spawn 3, 4, and 5. This is now starting to remind me of their Anatomic Spawn Low, the first model, one of my favorite shoes of all time. So UA Spawn 7, wide foot friendly budget shoe. Simple comfort on feet. Look at that delicious base. Any other options? I think just the 2E and 4E versions from New Balance and Asics. Take the Fresh From BB V3, for example. The standard width edition is about average, not necessarily super spacious or anything, but it's very well padded on the interior. No sharp ends or pointy shape. Amazing cushion and top tier traction. If an extra wide version is available where you are, I do see this as an elite hoop shoe as long as it fits. It just sits pretty high off the ground, so you might need some time to fully adjust to it. Same thing with Asics. There is not a single shoe that they made which I don't love, so maybe look into their extended width versions too. Asics basketball shoes will be much flatter compared to the Fresh From BB, so it depends on whether you prefer a lower ride or not. So that about concludes my list this year for the best, most wide foot friendly basketball shoe that you can get. 8085 Ultra from Way of Wade, KD 18, LeBron Witness 9 from Nike, DON Issue 7, Dame 10, XENOBURST from Adidas, Curry Splash 25, amazing budget friendly option. If that midfoot is not wide enough, I don't know what is. Well, you can always go with the specific 2E or 4E editions from New Balance and Asics. And then, yeah, some shoes you may want to avoid as a wide footer would be the Jazz 3, A1, Dilo 1, All City 13, Encore, Shadow 6 and Shadow 6 V2, All Pro Nitro 2, nothing to do with their functionality. Some of these are top tier performers. It only has to do with the fit. Our fellow wide footers, please contribute by giving us some names in the comment section that worked really well for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.